2018 was somehow both the best and worst year of my life. It had a lot of low points, but so many highs. Coming into 2019, I feel ready to fully commit myself to actually making some consistent content for this channel. But before I do that, I feel like I want to look back on 2018 and see what brought me to this point. So this is a kind of 2018 year in review. January. Went back to Michigan after Christmas break to a delightful -20 degrees. I have never been colder in my entire life. I went to my first ever college basketball game. I watched Michigan play Purdue and unfortunately we lost 70-69, but I absolutely fell in love with college basketball and have been watching it consistently ever since. I fell asleep on my own hand and stayed up until 4 AM to beat my friend James's high score on Wii Basketball. February. Wrote some code. Wrote this in my notes. Still no idea what the context for that was. Had my heart broken for the first time. Felt empty for weeks. Found out in that same week that my parents weren't able to come and visit me because my dad's heart condition had got worse and he had to have surgery. Cried a lot. But luckily I was surrounded by some truly amazing people who helped pick me up and helped me realize that there was still a lot of positives in my life. Went to visit my family in North Carolina, which really helped. Had some adorable photo shoots and went to the moon. March. Met the cutest dog in the world. Started my podcast at the dorm and recorded my very first episode. Watched Michigan kick ass in March Madness.
Pulls it right in front of us to Abdul Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win! The three-pointer!
And stood outside Buffalo Wild Wings for 5 hours to make sure that we got a table for the final game. April. Started doing episodes of the podcast with my friends. And the dorm hit 500 downloads in my first 6 weeks of doing it. Had an incredible pizza, went hammocking for the first time, moved out of my dorm room and finished my freshman year of college. May. Started a job as a maintenance man, which was fine. Picked up a lot of paper towels and counted a lot of fire extinguishers. Caught up with my old rowing friends at National Schools Regatta. June. Went to visit my friend Ed up in Durham, where I threw up quite a lot. Got a cameo from Cody Ko.
Yo, what up, Josh? How's it going? It's Cody here,
and binge watched all of Queer Eye in about a week. If you haven't watched that show, please do. It's incredible. July. This is where things really this month was packed. So recorded an episode of the podcast with Dan, which is my favourite episode to date without a doubt. Went to Henley Royal Regatta and reunited with the Wiener Patrol. Fucked around on a boat, fucked around off a boat, fucked around in a tree. Then my dad had his heart surgery. That was without a doubt the weirdest day of my life. And I've tried to put into words some of what it was like here, but I never truly could. That day will stay with me forever. So I met my mum and dad at the hospital, and after a couple of hours they were eventually ready for surgery and I had to say goodbye to my dad. I went to lunch with my mum and we both tried to stay okay for each other, and we kind of tried to make jokes, but it was like the longest 4 hours of my life. And then for a second everything stopped. My mum got a phone call from the surgeon and my dad's heart surgery had gone brilliantly. It couldn't have gone better. My mum hung up the phone and immediately just burst into tears of joy. Months of emotion and stress just were released in one moment. My mum was brilliant. Totally brilliant during that time period, and I'm so proud of my parents and my family for going through that whole process and staying so positive throughout the whole thing. After that, things got better. And traveling through Europe with Nathan, we hit Brussels, Paris, Prague, Berlin, and Amsterdam. Ate Belgian waffles in Belgium, got blackout drunk at the Eiffel Tower, gambled in Prague, and did a photo shoot of the Berlin Wall where we overheard an American tourist ask the question, was the Berlin Wall built to separate the rich and the poor? August. Flew back to Michigan, got told go blue while waiting to pee, started building a patio for Nathan's parents, did an arty photo shoot with our friend Nick, and he's great, and more about him later. Bought this video camera so that I could actually commit to creating content and to potentially start vlogging, and moved into my first apartment. September. Started my sophomore year at the University of Michigan. Went to a lot of game days and a lot of parties. Finished the patio. Actually ended up looking weirdly good, despite the fact that it was Nathan and I doing the entire thing. Made a killer Vine reference. Finally turned 19. Went to a Bruno Mars concert. I met a goat. Went to Canada for the first time. We went to Toronto and stayed in an Airbnb, which was ridiculously nice, and we ended up only taking photos of each other. I tried to vlog the whole thing but ended up deleting all the footage on accident, so that was good. But I had the best burger I've ever had in my life. If you're ever in Toronto, or they have several of them in Canada, this place called The Burger's Priest, I think is what it's called. You can get this burger called the Vatican, which is a double cheeseburger, but the bun is 2 grilled cheeses, and I've never had a better burger in my entire life. Started working at Wolf TV and realised very quickly that I love being in front of the camera. Started to think about actually pursuing the things that I really enjoy and am interested in rather than coding for the entirety of my life. October. Went to see my cousins and my parents in North Carolina for my fall break. Pretended to be mannequins, pretended to ride horses, and found it difficult to say goodbye. Went to Michigan State for the Michigan versus Michigan State football game for the weekend. Drank more than ever before, took some adorable pictures of my friends, and slept through the entire game. Made my first reaction video with Nathan, which was about a guy with a 160-pound scrotum, and it was actually pretty funny, so the link will be in the description, maybe check it out. I think he uses it like a pillow, like he holds them up, like throws them over one shoulder, just like goes to sleep right there. November, lost all hope for the future of humanity. Went to another game day, but this one's special. So on the 3rd of November, well, really to tell this story properly, we actually need to go back a while, because it started in January. So in the words of Will Smith,
it's rewind time.
January. So in January, while waiting in line for a club with some of my friends, I had a conversation with a girl and we really hit it off. But I was in a relationship at the time, and so I didn't make any kind of move. She left the line and I thought that I would never see her again. But then on November 3rd, I ran into the one that got away at a darty before the game. We started talking and I asked her out, and then we started dating. Her name is Miles and she's amazing, and I'm sure that you're going to be seeing a lot more of her in the new year. I got dressed up in girls' Halloween costumes for Wolf TV and I rocked it. Went and watched Louis the Child, a concert that Nathan and I had been waiting for forever, and it was the best concert I've ever been to in my life.
It's so cold.
Finally getting it.
Oh, okay. It's cold. Alright. Yeah.
And then I threw Nathan a surprise 20th birthday party.
Josh, how long did it take you to plan all this?
Like a couple weeks. It's been in the work for a couple weeks now. So much sneakiness between me and Denise.
What's up, loser?
There's so many people here. So many people here. We're all here today to celebrate Nathan's birthday. Nathan, I've only known you a year, but you're my best friend. Like, I don't think you always realize how much people care about you, and that's what today is all about. So, happy birthday, Nathan. I hope you have an amazing night, and I hope you'll join me in saying to this: we drink to those who love us. We drink to those who don't. We drink to those who fuck us, and fuck those who don't. Let's go, buddy.
The clips that you just saw from both the concert and the birthday party are from my friend Nick's channel. I will put all of his links in the description. Go check him out. His vlogs are amazing. He makes next level stuff. I will put his YouTube channel and Instagram in the description below, so definitely go check him out. December. Started studying for finals. Ann Arbor looked pretty. Mars looked prettier. Realized that after just a few weeks, I was already in love, and it didn't scare me. I then flew back to England, celebrated Christmas with my family, and made a video about my 2018. So that was it. That was my 2018. It was a wild year, but I feel like I learned more about myself this year than I have in my entire life. I can't explain how much I feel like I've grown as a person. I'm now actually studying things that I really enjoy. I'm making content and I want to make a lot more of this in the new year. Nick and I have already spoken about wanting to produce more stuff with each other as we go into 2019, so that's really exciting. Look out for that. I have so many ideas and I got stuck in such a rut of content creation coming into the latter half of 2018, wondering too much about whether something was good enough for me to put out or not. I've recorded videos and just not thought they were good enough and stopped myself from releasing them. So I want to make an effort to actually keep pushing out content because I really want to do this and I really enjoy making this stuff. So if you've liked what you've seen in this video and you're excited as I am for 2019, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. I'll be releasing new videos and new episodes of the podcast actually consistently, I promise you. All my links are in the description and I will see you guys in the next one.